Thursday, January the 9th. Guys, we are just flying through January already. And because today's Thursday, we have only a WOD to talk about and no strength. I have some time up front just to say thank you. Thank you to everyone from the box who reached out, who always try to do their best to make someone like me even feel special on their birthday. Dean and Beth especially always do that. But everyone. My mom called me for my birthday to wish me a happy birthday. She asked me what I was doing. I was told her I was heading into coach, and she said, "Why are you working today? It's your birthday. Like, take some time off for yourself." And I'm like, "Mom, you don't." She's pushing 70. She doesn't get CrossFit. I said to her, "It's not a job. It's like going to hang out with your friends. And I would never want to miss that just because of my birthday." So again, thank you very much. Love you guys so much. What do we have today? We have a special one. Only special because it's a format that everybody hates to see on the calendar, but that we do a few times a year, and that is interruption WOD. So in the spirit of threshold, we're going to do only one movement today. Only one movement that counts towards your total, and the WOD is just that movement plus some burpees as an interruption. And that movement happens to be Russian kettlebell swings, and you have a lot of them. And that shouldn't be a surprise. If it's a singlet, as today sort of is, it's a couplet or a singlet, however you want to decide, whatever you want to call it. It is ultimately a movement that you can chip away huge sets of. That's what a Russian kettlebell swing is to us. Something that you can, use some grip strength for, but ultimately something where you're going to grip it and rip it. As long as your technique is good, you should be able to rip off big sets of these. And so for that reason, the volume we're asking you to accumulate today is 300. It's a lot of kettlebell swings, but also a doable amount. Now, we are going to interrupt you. Not at first, though. We have gotten into the habit of having you start the interruption movement. Today, it's 7 burpees at 0. Today, we're not going to do that, meaning we're going to allow you to chip away at a huge set while you're as fresh as you're going to be for the day. You don't get interrupted for the first time until the clock hits 1:00, right? And thereafter, you will be interrupted every minute on the minute. 7 burpees. Now, let me give you some genesis. This workout was inspired by a different one that is very similar. But the other similar workout was, instead of doing 7 burpees on the minute every minute, it was death by burpee, meaning eventually you got to 7 burpees on the minute, but then after that you got even higher up. So more than 7, 8, 9, 10, and eventually it becomes impossible. So we split the difference. We made it 7 the whole time rather than ever getting above 7, and yet still some of you won't be doing 7 today, and that's fine. Just as we modify every interference or interruption workout. So let's talk about it and how it's going to go. Like I said, you're going to rip off a huge set, or as big as you possibly can, hopefully not having to put the kettlebell down in that first minute, and then be ready to go for your first set of burpees at 1. After that, you have to start strategizing a little bit. What we're putting in our notes is, and please adhere to this as best as possible, if at any point you feel like you're going to have less than 30 seconds to do the kettlebell, then you need to immediately reduce the number of burpees that you're doing to an amount. And that could be, look, for some of you guys, especially new people, that could be like between 1 and 3. We'd be fine with it. Just make sure that when you change your amount of burpees, you stick to that. And you try to always have at least 30 seconds on the kettlebell. That gets us in and out in an appropriate amount of time for the stimulus. Now, a lot of times when we have Russian kettlebell swings, we also say, because that's the movement, because it doesn't require up overhead, you can challenge yourself to a heavier kettlebell. God bless her, Coach Laura tested this with the heavier kettlebell, and before I had a chance to do it, and we determined based on her results that going heavy is not appropriate for this WOD. So look, there might be some real risk takers out there who were like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna go for the heavier today. And I'll let you work that one out with your coach. I personally am using the 53. So just know that going in. I know sometimes you guys will compare to what I did. All right, some other things of note. We do have a 40-minute cap today. we don't think this shoes watch should not take that long. We don't want it to take that long. That's partially why we're saying go ahead and use the lighter kettlebell. Laura was in the 30s. And she used the heavier kettlebell. And, we could have said easily that that there is a no more advanced than 7 burpees. We could have just said that. We're going to start the bidding at 7, but just know that you can and will absolutely achieve the stimulus of this workout with a lesser amount of burpees. And we will just say, today's score that we're going to write on the board is your time, the weight of the kettlebell, and then if you needed to modify, we'll just write, here's how many burpees I did every minute on the minute. Now, logistics sake, people who did the EWOD last Saturday will have heard me say something similar to this, and I'm sorry I'm saying it again. Beyond the Whiteboard isn't good with workouts like this. You will have to edit the post to account for how many burpees you ended up needing to do. Simple as that, right? So please do that, because we're going to want to know. Although, if you don't, we can math it out in our heads as to how many burpees you needed to do. And so don't worry about it too much. But if you're someone who likes accuracy like that, like me, then please go ahead and edit the volume of burpees. Guys, thank you so much again. And I want to say enjoy this one, but I know a lot of you won't. Anytime you don't enjoy it, just that's fitness talking and saying and telling you and reminding you that sometimes being uncomfortable is part of the journey.